And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine to get ready. But once they take the floor, they're one single unit. Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. Kevin Harlan here with you. Joining me tonight, Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. Our buddy David Aldridge is on the sideline getting stories. And a quick look at some of the numbers for Nikola Vucevic.
And guys, for a measure of how he's performing offensively, look no further than the true shooting percentage. There's been a steady drop in his last 5 games, and he's got to be scrambling now to get that feel back.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Inside for him, it's Harris and Duren. Cade Cunningham out there with Hardaway. And it's Thompson in at the small forward position. And for the Bulls, they've got Dosunmu. Kevin Huerter is out there with Josh Giddey. And it's Vucevic, and it's White in at the 3 slot. And if you claim to be a basketball purist, and Greg, I know you do, one thing you gotta love watching is great ball movement.
Which is something both of these teams take pride in. It's always fun to watch guys be unselfish with the ball and look to make each other better.
Now, here's Vucevic. Really had troubles in the loss to Detroit. Just 4 to shoot. From deep, Huerter. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. Huerter's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Bulls. Cunningham finds Harris. Cunningham against Giddey. Duren with the screen on Giddey. Here's Cunningham. Rebound by the Bulls. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Yeah, a snowball effect in that one. One thing would go wrong, then another. Really the story of the game.
Yeah, they just committed too many mistakes at both ends. But credit their opponent for being disruptive.
Now here's Hardaway. After the miss from Vucevic, Harris outside. And Thompson kicks to Cunningham. Makes it off the glass.
Well, the physicality of the NBA takes some getting used to, but Cunningham is able to make those tough finishes.
And what strikes me about Cade Cunningham is he's still growing. He's still capable of doing more on the floor, and he has the work ethic and attitude to make those improvements and become a real factor on the floor.
Now here's Hardaway. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And Cunningham with the basket on the assist from Tobias Harris.
Yeah, and Cunningham there, able to shoot with his feet set. That's one he knows he can hit.
Vucevic a screen on Thompson. It's tipped. It's stolen by Duren. Hardaway passes to Harris. Pistons passing it around. And Duren slams it in.
That is what they want from Duren. Spike it, young fella.
And Billy Donovan decides to call timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline.
A moment to check out Cade Cunningham here. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. He's averaging 28 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. But you look at the rebound totals, and it's a big part of what he does for this team.
Everybody has their strengths. Easy to see that rebounding is his, and he is honed in on it.
Here's Huerter. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Giddey kicks to White. And he drives in. Pass to Vucevic. Just 5 to shoot. Will it go? Rebounded by Hardaway.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go to it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
To the inside. Stolen. White inside. He's against Cunningham. And White slams it in.
Explosive move by White. Going right up to the rim.
You know, Stan, I've always thought that your path, kind of like Billy Donovan's, going from the college game to the pro game, both enjoying success, very, very similar paths.
Except for one thing, Kevin. Billy could actually play. I couldn't. So, you know.
Well, you're not being fair to yourself now. Come on.
Billy was a great college player. And I think, Kevin, Billy Donovan's the most underrated coach in the NBA. This guy's a surefire Hall of Famer. Back-to-back national titles in college. And then you look at the consistent success he has had in the NBA with teams. This guy is as good as anyone in the country, heck, anyone in the world coaching basketball.
Well said. Now here is Harris. Turned in an outstanding game against Chicago. Here's the three. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Smith outside. White, a screen on Harris. Smith the pass to White. Duren against Vucevic. Shoots over Duren. Vucevic with the bucket.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
Beasley outside. Hardaway up top. Pass to Cunningham. 1:30 left to play in the first. Does not score with that shot. It's his second miss against two made shots. To the paint. Here's Smith. And the dunk by Smith.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, they need to pay attention to the details. Second chance points are backbreakers.
The latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hey, Kevin. Bulls coach Billy Donovan keeps perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck, the breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, D.A. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you. Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Williams, he's checked in for Vucevic. Kevin Huerter comes in for Dosunmu. And Ball subbed in for Josh Giddey. Detroit also making some changes. Stewart's checked in for Harris. Asar Thompson comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Cade Cunningham.
Well, look, offensively, you want to put Stewart in the pick and roll. He's just so versatile.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And another turnover here by Chicago. The Bulls making a switch here. Bruce Ellis is checked in. And Detroit with a change here, too. Holland, he's checked in for Duren. We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Schroeder outside. Stewart with a screen on Ball. And so it's Detroit with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And we'll be right back after this. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for Detroit.
Well, I have to applaud their ball movement. They're moving the ball around, finding the best looks they can, and keeping everyone involved.
And something else that I liked is how they attack the paint, finding ways to get inside and capitalize time and time again.
They've got Kevin Huerter. Williams is out there with Bruce Ellis. Then there's Lonzo Ball. And it's Smith in at the 5, down low. That's the group for the Chicago Bulls to start the second quarter. Bulls trail by 8. Here's Ball. He has yet to score. Drills it from outside.
And no doubt
The release point is a bit unorthodox in terms of Ball's shooting technique, but man, can he slingshot it home from deep.
Now here's Schroeder. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
And you look at the Detroit Pistons, Stan, so much young talent, but the chemistry is a work in progress, clearly.
Well, it is, Kevin, and they're working on it, but it's hard with so many new faces, and they still need a second and third guy that they can build around. They've got a lot of good role players, but they need a couple more stars.
Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Pass the ball. Rebound by the Pistons. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Well, on the road, you don't expect to look so comfortable on the offensive end, but that was the story of the game.
Well, it comes down to preparation. They were ready for that game and kept the crowd out of it for the most part.
And the shot goes in. Thompson's got his first points of the game.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Herter passes to Smith. And here is Ball. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Dennis Schroeder. And as a coach, what were some of your favorite parts, Stan, of life on the road?
Well, Kevin, we get treated really well on the road in the NBA. I mean, you travel on great charters. People take care of your bags. We stay in great hotels. But my favorite part of being on the road was when we were on our way home. Easier to win at home, family at home. That was the favorite part of it.
How about the bonding experience that a lot of coaches talk about when you're out there kind of alone against the forces, just you and your team?
Well, I definitely think players bond on trips like that because they're not going in different directions. They team to spend time together. I don't think any of them ever wanted to spend time with me.
And Stan, a positive for the Bulls over the last couple seasons. They've really done a good job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah, Kevin, that's been an emphasis for them. You don't want to beat yourself. So you look up and down the roster, it's a pretty disciplined group, but it's also the kind of thing that can change from year to year. Well, he sends it inside where they can get a high percentage look. That's just great basketball.
And J.B. Bickerstaff has called a timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Patrick Williams, he's checked in for Jalen Smith. Simone Fontecchio, he's checked in for the Pistons. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Cunningham outside. Pass to Harris. 6 to shoot. Stewart with a screen on Ball. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Chicago's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. The turnaround, and the Bulls tack on 2 more. The Pistons have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Bounce pass, Schroeder. Harris against Williams. Shot clock at 6. Harris passes to Fontecchio. Fires away from way outside. Detroit, no good that time either. And here are the Bulls now. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Pass the ball. Now here's Dosunmu. Vucevic down low. Guarded by Stewart, and it's Vucevic missing.
Well, they know he can finish at the rim, but the defense did just enough to force the miss.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
He's just one of those veterans you can count on from the line. Harris really makes an impact from the stripe.
The Pistons shooting their first free throws here tonight.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Harris. Recent times have certainly been tough in Detroit. Break 14 wins last season, a franchise record low.
And Kevin, if you look, Detroit's last 5 seasons, 23 wins is the most they've had. So their fan base hungry for a winner in the Motor City.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Kobe White, he's checked in for Buzelis. Kevin Huerter comes in for Patrick Williams. And Josh Giddey's subbed in for Lonzo Ball. Now here's Huerter. Vucevic a screen on Hardaway. And Huerter gets it to go.
Well, when you give him room like that, just expect it to go in.
Cunningham on the wing. Giddey defending. Cunningham against Giddey. Cunningham dishes it to Thompson. Got it off in time and beat the shot clock, but it's no good. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, a lottery pick back in 2022. Jalen Duren brings energy to this team. A big frame, toughness down low.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. And when you take a look at Jalen Duren, a big man, Greg, who seems to get better each and every season.
Well, you know, he averaged a double-double in his second season. I especially like how hard he goes after rebounds. This guy has a bright future in this league.
And both free throws good for Duren. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose and MVP, Jimmy Butler as well, but the results haven't been there.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, Jalen Duren, a physical specimen, is improving the finer points of his game, including his vision. He said, I feel like I've always been a good passer. I've developed more of that as my young career has gone on, understanding the league better and how to win. Kevin?
Yeah, DA, you know, it takes time, but nice to see his development. He stands since 2009. The Pistons have just 2 playoff appearances.
Yeah, that's true, Kevin, and they got swept in both of those playoff appearances. They haven't won a playoff game since 2008. And with all the lottery picks they've made recently, their fans are itching to see some progress. And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
Giddey against Cunningham. Down low, Duren, and Duren slams it in.
Cunningham, a 6'6" point guard, built to operate in the pick and roll.
Giddey kicks to Vucevic. And here's Huerter outside. Rebounded by Cade Cunningham. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Duren with a screen on Giddey. Cunningham for 3. Offensive rebound. And Duren slams it in.
Well, positioning and size win Duren the offensive rebound, which he then cashes in on.
And it's Vucevic missing. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Pistons lead by 3. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Nick. Obviously very tough out there. What's your mindset?
just want to come out not aggressive and just play hard on defense, getting stops. They're a great team, so they're not going to quit. They're going to keep playing. And we just have to keep getting stops and keep believing that we can win this game, and good things will happen again.
I know that's what Coach is going to preach in the second half. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
Hello and welcome. Before we take a look at the action from the first half, a brief overview of some upcoming games.
In that game against the Spurs, don't let a lack of focus steal one from you. Overlooking lesser opponents, but that's when they come and they bite you.
I overlook all opponents.
In terms of what? Height? Confidence? Both? Don't even answer. I know the answer. Shifting focus? How about this tight game the Detroit Pistons find themselves in?
This is some retro hoops, pounding the ball inside with intent. Man, I know you love this big fella.
No need to take a million jumpers. Work with the rock down low. Good things will happen, don't you know?
Ooh, you're rhyming and you didn't even know it. A poet.
Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. We've seen Jalen Duren really having a great game.
And he's been a monster in this game, throwing down some huge dunks. And I wasn't sure the rim would even survive in that first half.
Well, as a defense, you can't allow him that much room in the post. That's just asking for trouble.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. On the court for the Pistons, Thompson and Harris are their forwards. Cade Cunningham out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Duren in at the center, locking down the middle. Pass to Dosunmu. Back to Giddey. Now Vucevic. Dosunmu with it. Over Harris. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Dosunmu's got 6. For years, it seemed like the league was going to go smaller. But lately, Greg, it seems like size is back in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the MVP award, right? Centers and Jokic and Embiid winning it recently. Even Giannis, I wouldn't consider him small. And just overall around the NBA, it feels like bigger teams are having more success.
And so White will bring it up for Chicago. They trail by 3. Next up for them, the Knicks, a road game in New York. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Now, here's Vucevic. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Clock is at 3. Here's White. It's hauled in by Harris. Pistons leading by 3. Thompson, left side. From beyond the arc. Duren. It's good on the putback.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Pass to Herter. And here's White. Here's Vucevic. No good on that one. A defense that time from Duren. After a solid rookie campaign, Coach, Jalen Duren had a breakout sophomore year.
Well, Kevin, Jalen Duren knows who he is. Averaging a double-double, but he stays within himself. Doesn't take very many jump shots, shot well over 60%, and he has got a great motor.
And through hard work, this has become Harris's bread and butter. A knockdown shooter off the catch.
Pass to White. And he drops in the layup off the glass. White's got his second bucket of the game to go.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Intercepted. And here's the break. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Harris.
And he just kept working. Giddey felt the whistle coming and able to finish the play.
Chicago shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Giddey. Hey, Coach, one area the Bulls can struggle with, defending the outside shot.
Yeah, Kevin, they've been very poor the last few seasons on that front. Not closing out, missing assignments. It's strange because they were once elite in that regard under Donovan.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And that's a spot of the floor Giddey wants to improve. It certainly puts in the work there to get better.
Thompson finds Harris. Hardaway a screen on Giddey. 6 on the shot clock. Hardaway no good. Bulls trail by 5. Herter with it. Now defended by Cunningham. Herter against Cunningham. Here's Dosunmu. Oh, good with the triple.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for him that time.
He has become a pure shooter. And from mid-range, Harris is deadly.
White the pass to Dosunmu. Back to White. Herter on the wing. Vucevic setting the pick for Herter. Back to Vucevic. The 19-foot shot, and he hits the jump shot. Vucevic has got 6 points.
Well, when the moment is right, Vucevic can be an effective spot-up shooter.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Jalen Smith, he's checked in for Vucevic. Williams comes in for Dosunmu. Buzelis is checked in for Kevin Herter. And Ball subbed in for Josh Giddey. And a different look here for the Pistons. Stewart's checked in for Harris. Holland comes in for Asar Thompson. Malik Beasley, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Cade Cunningham. Now here's Beasley. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Inside, Duren, and the rejection by Smith. Duren, no good.
And we talk about the importance of protecting the rim. Right there, outstanding defense.
Ball, no good. Pistons leading by 5. Pass to Schroeder. 1:15 left to play here in the third. And Duren slams it in.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. White dishes the ball. Smith outside. Screen by Smith. And it's White missing. 2-for-1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
Schroeder kicks to Beasley. And Detroit again with the bucket.
That's just poor defense there. You can't give up these kind of looks from the mid-range.
Beasley against White. Here's Williams. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. The third quarter comes to a close. Pistons ahead. They lead by 9. And we'll get going after this from United Center. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Yeah, that's great decision making and one that embodies a team-first mindset.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. We've got ball. Williams is out there with Jalen Smith. Then it's Bruce Ellis, and it's Horton Tucker in at the shooting guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
And they continue to control the glass.
Pass to Schroeder, launches it. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got his 4th rebound in this one. It's stolen by Schroeder. Stewart with it. He's covered by Ball. Kicks it out to Beasley. Pocket 6. Holland sinks the three-pointer. Holland's got the lead up to 12 now for Detroit.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Horton Tucker finds Ball. Lays it up and banks it in.
I'm a fan of how Ball uses that size inside. Excellent at getting his shot off close to the basket.
Now here's Beasley. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. No coverage that time.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Ball against Schroeder. Ball kicks to Smith. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Schroeder looking around. Here's Beasley. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And we're seeing some big paydays for NBA head coaches these days, Stan. Do you miss it?
Do I miss the paychecks, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, payday was always really good in the NBA. No question about that.
What about now, though? What about now?
Well, it's gone through the roof. But look, the trade-off is the paydays are big, but there's not a great deal of job security, Kevin.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Vucevic comes in for Patrick Williams. And it's Carter in for Talen Horton Tucker. Reedy's checked in for Detroit. Cade Cunningham comes in for Dennis Schroeder, and he can't hit the second. Bulls trail by 14 to the inside. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Putting that pass right in his stride. Didn't have to slow up and was able to complete the play.
Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Pistons.
Well, they've really been sharing the basketball. All coaches talk about that, try to get their teams to do it. It's really great when you see it in action.
And they're also finding a good deal of their points off turnovers tonight. Seems like every time they come up with an extra possession, they find a way to convert.
Hey, Stan, we've exported so much corporate basketball knowledge overseas. Remember when Fratello and you and your brother Jeff would go over there and have these clinics and teach the coaches the game. And they've taken that knowledge clearly and run with it.
No, I think that definitely happened when those guys went over. I think now it's sort of going the other way in large part. I know that all of us in the league now study what the great coaches in Europe are doing, and there's a lot of them, and the game is different, but they incorporate a lot of different concepts. I don't know a staff in the league that isn't spending a lot of time studying in the international game.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Well, during the break, I listened in on J.B. Bickerstaff's huddle. He told them, don't look at the scoreboard. We have to play like we're tied. They want their team to sustain that level of effort, and we'll see how it works out. Kevin?
Thanks so much, David. Now here is Hardaway. Puts up a deep three with the tip, and Duran is right there. And the Pistons lead by 13.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Giddey with it. Now defended by Cunningham. Vucevic with the bucket.
Yeah, defensively, you have to keep track of Vucevic at the arc. He takes those shots when he's open.
Outside Hardaway. Shoots over White. No good off the back of the rim.
Well, sometimes it's just not your night. But despite his struggles, they're ahead in the game.
Giddey against Cunningham. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And not a guy who takes a ton of threes, but Giddey can knock them down if you let him.
Giddey against Cunningham. Drives to the hoop. And then Cunningham with the dunk.
And that's a special play coming from the one spot.
You know, his passing can take a backseat for that dunk. Wow.
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
And Billy Donovan decides to call timeout. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. Kevin Huerter, he's checked in for Chicago. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Thompson's checked in. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Here's Vucevic. It's deflected.
Well, I want to see more of this from Duran. Nice effort using his size to make an impact defensively.
Cunningham's shot is off. And so it's Giddey with it. He brings it up for the Chicago Bulls. 9-point game. Vucevic is screen on Hardaway. Huerter passes to Vucevic. Misses from short range. Detroit has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Hardaway, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And you can see the competitiveness in Hardaway Jr.
So the first one drops, and that'll push the lead to double digits.
And you got to love a vet like Tim Hardaway Jr. He knows the game well, knows how to go out there and produce for his team.
Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. And he uses the glass on the layup.
I mean, a 6'8" playmaker. Giddey is a point forward, and he piles up the assists.
Thompson outside. Outside Hardaway. Thompson sets the pick for Hardaway. This one for 3. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, I get it. but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
And Detroit has possession. The Bulls getting the bucket. And the shot goes down. Cunningham's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, that's where Cunningham does his best work, from the free throw line down.
Giddey against Cunningham. Bucket is good.
And I love going to Giddey there at 6'8" with his skill. Josh can get that one off anytime he wants.
Now, here's Cunningham. Over Giddey. Cunningham gets the bucket. And the Pistons lead by 8.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
Now, here's Cunningham. After the miss from Vucevic, 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Cunningham outside. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
That's good from Cunningham.
Great composure there. Calmly knocks them down to put this game out of reach.
And so it's Detroit with the W. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And that about wraps it up. So for Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And now our player of the game, Jalen Duren.